Hi, in this video lesson we will see how to build your first web API using .NET Core in Visual Studio 2022. Only prerequisite which you required is you should be having basic knowledge of C# programming. In this lesson what we will learn is first we'll give the brief introduction about what is a web API and its uses. And then we'll look into how to set up your development environment. Then create the first web API project from the scratch. Once the project has been created, your app, then we'll use the Postman to test your app. We will see how to set up your Postman to test your web API which you have developed. I'll go through the design flow of the app, how the data flow, and if you have any question, please put in the comment, try to reply to those. Let's start. So what is a web API and its uses? Web API, if you see, it is nothing but an application programming interface. It uses HTTP protocol. It also helps to create HTTP-based RESTful services, which I will explain what is a RESTful services in later part of the video. Once this API has been developed, it can be consumed by the different devices like a mobile and the laptop or the desktop and anywhere else. So first we will see how to set up our development environment by installing Visual Studio 2022. To, inst- to install the Visual Studio 22, you need to go to visualstudio.microsoft.com/download. Click on this link. I will provide this link in my description. So from there you can go and download this Visual Studio 2022 community version, which is a free one. Yeah. As I have already downloaded, so it is there in my download folder. Double click on this. Click on yes. It will open the installer. It will ask you to open the installer. Click on continue. Once you click on continue, installer will open and you need to select ASP.NET and the web development for to develop your web API. By default, it will take 6.38 GB and there is an additional component. If you want to install, you can go ahead and install, but by default, you will see all these component which will get installed by default. There's a language pack. By default, it is English. If you want, you can change it to some other language. If you, and the installation location by default it will pick your C program file. If you want to change, you can change it. So respectively, uh, data will get divided. So let's start on by selecting the ASP.NET and the web development. If you require anything else, you can select those particular checkbox and continue your setup. So I will install this one. It will take some time, but I will fast track my video so that we will finish the uh, download and we'll start the installation process. It's finishing up. It got finished. It opened the Visual Studio 2022. You click on the launch, otherwise it will get launched. Yeah, it's getting launched. Setting up the default things. It'll ask for your sign up, so you can give your email ID to sign up. Mine is empowerlearning@hotmail.com, so it has taken by default, which I have set up for my system. Yeah. Now this Visual Studio got installed successfully. Now create a new project. To create your new web API project, search for web API. You will see ASP.NET Core web app. So you select this one to develop your REST API. Click on this. Click on next. Give your application name. I'm just giving as my first web API. Location you can change. So I'll give my location to my E drive. select the particular folder. Your solution name will be your my first web API. I want to place the solution and the project in the same directory so that I don't want to go and search again. It's up to you. You want to leave it as a default one, you can leave it. Otherwise, keep it in the same folder so that it'll easy for you to upload if you want into some other server or AWS or Azure. Now click on Nest. Here by default, .NET 6 will get selected as a framework. Let's configure for the HTTPS and leave the Docker as a disabled. Now go and click on the create button. It will create the web API with model, view, and controller. If you see on the right hand side, this is your project. So this is a home controller, model, and the view. Yeah. And if you go to the program file, this is the main file which you will see all by default configuration get added here. So which route it will call? If you come to the controller, then by default this program.cs will get executed. This will come to go and call the home controller, and what will be the action will be the index, and but this is optional where you will pass the id. So I will explain that into later part of the video. There is a different way to execute. Just press F5 or just click on this play button to load this web API. Yeah, this project is getting built, this is getting loaded. If you see, this is your first web API. It's getting called, and the same response is coming to the UI and display in the page of the video. There's other way to test your API is using the Postman. Let's see how you can go and install your Postman. Go to Google, download Postman. It'll give you the option to download. Click on this. I will also put this link in the description so that directly you can go and download. So here you will go and download your Postman for the REST API client testing. So click on download. If you download, as I have already downloaded as you seen, so double click on the Postman, what you have downloaded, it will open, it will install, and it will open your workspace. Yeah, once your workspace get loaded, you can also sign in. Yeah, so to make the video short, I'm not going to sign in now. So what you can do, you can create your own collection for your project. So my project name is my first web API. Yeah. So in this project, I will go and create my new HTTP request, which is our new page which got created. Yeah. So this is the page which we got loaded, but actually it is calling the home. Yeah. So if you click on this, click on send. This is nothing but a get. This is the option which you will be selecting depend on the route which you are making, like a get, post, put, patch. Yeah. Click on send. You will see some error. This is happen for most of them. So if you see as a disable SSL verification, go to setting, then disable your SSL verification. Yeah. Then click on the send, you will see the response. So this is the same response what you have seen in your browser. Yeah. So you can also preview your response as part of the JSON. So here is the option which you can go and select to the JSON format. Yeah. So this is the JSON format response, or this is the HTML form of response. Yeah, this is how you can test your web API. And if you want to debug your project, go and hit your controller. Yeah. So this is your project. Press F9. Then if you go to the Postman, hit, it will come to your breakpoint. Then from there you see how it is getting navigated. Press F11. You got the result. You it came back, which is nothing but a 200 response. So you can go into detail and put your breakpoint in all these places in the program.cs and other places. Yeah. So this is the other important file which is nothing but application setting dot JSON. So it'll grow more as we keep adding our application and other authentication, authorization, some other database connection to connect to the Azure, to connect to the different servers. So all those configuration will come here. Now let's see the design flow of this API which we have just developed. If you see, like as soon as we load the page, it'll hit the controller, which is nothing but our home controller. Then from the home controller, it went to the model, and it will also call the database or the external service to give you the result, which is nothing but in a deserialization in serialization form, which will get deserialized and back sent to back to the client. Okay, in the format of HTTP response. So the request what we are sending, it is in the form of the HTTP request. So to conclude in this video lesson, what we have seen so far is what is a web API, how to set up our development environment to develop a web API. We have also created our first web API, and we use that web API in the Postman to test those web API, and we have seen the design flow. If you have any question, please put in the comment. Please click on like if you like this content and subscribe to my channel for the further update. Thanks for watching.